Yo, what is up, guys? It's Cohen back here again today with another video. Before I start this video, I do want to preface it with the fact that yes, I'm a Thunder fan, but no, I do not hate Damian Lillard. I don't hate Damian Lillard. I don't hate any player in the NBA. I just don't. So I want to preface that. You might be a Thunder fan that does hate Damian Lillard, and so you're watching this video and be like, wow, you're praising Damian Lillard. What are you doing? But my goal is to be unbiased when talking about the league because I want to give everyone credit where credit is due. And tonight, Damian Lillard had an unreal game, dropping 50 points on only 20 shots. He shot 13 of 20, 6 of 13 from 3, 18 of 18 from the free throw line, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. Just an incredible game from Damian Lillard. A game where Gary Trent Jr. was the only other guy who was really playing well. He had 22 points, but outside of that, Carmelo Anthony, 9 points, 4 of 10 shooting. You had CJ McCollum making his return to the lineup with 3 of 11 shooting for only 10 points. It just wasn't a good game from the Blazers, and at one point they were down 17 to the Pelicans, and it didn't matter because Damian Lillard took over, and he took over the game exactly when they needed him to. He made every shot he needed to down the stretch, sunk every clutch free throw. He's just unstoppable when you get into that late game situation. And this is another game that shows why Damian Lillard should be in your MVP conversation. If you're not talking about Damian Lillard as an MVP candidate, you're doing it wrong. Because the way he has played this season in the face of a ton of injuries, Yusuf Nurkic has missed a bunch of time. CJ McCollum missed a bunch of time. And even tonight when he did play, he wasn't very good. He didn't look like the CJ McCollum we saw at the start of the season. He looked very, very rusty, which is to be expected coming from injury. But this team's super injury riddled. They're missing guys. Anthony Simons didn't play tonight. Zach Collins hasn't played in forever. They're just not quite there yet. And so Damian Lillard is carrying this team to a way better record than honestly they probably should have. I predicted them before the season to be a 3 seed, but I thought everyone was going to be healthy. And now they're beat up, and it doesn't even matter because Lillard is doing Lillard stuff. He played 41 minutes tonight. He left it all out there on the floor. It was an incredible game from him. And on the other side of the ball, the Pelicans tried to give this game away as hard as I've ever seen a team do. This was really reminiscent of the Kings-Hornets game that I made a video about a couple weeks ago. Go check that out if you haven't yet. I'm pretty sure it's called The Kings Are Just Wasting Everyone's Time, which they are. This game was so clearly in the Pelicans' grasp. There's no reason they should have lost this game. And they did, which they've done a lot this season. Which is why the other day, my title of my video was, I don't understand the New Orleans Pelicans. Because I can't figure them out. Some nights they'll blow out a team by 30 points, and then other nights they'll go up by 17 during the game. You'll have a game where Zion scores 28. Ingram scored 30 tonight. Lonzo had 11 and 17 assists. Bledsoe had 11. Jackson Hayes played decently. You could even have Josh Hart drop 16 and Nickeil Alexander-Walker drop 20 points. All of that happened in this game, and they lost because they just couldn't clutch up at the end. Brandon Ingram missed. So first of all, the Trailblazers just keep fighting back, right? Then Brandon Ingram ends up getting fouled, and he goes to the free throw line with a chance to put the game on ice, and he misses both free throws. Brandon Ingram is an 88% free throw shooter. Brandon Ingram misses both. 88%. The chances of him missing both are so small. And then they go down the court, and Damian Lillard gets fouled or he goes to shoot a 3 and he gets fouled, which is not a bad decision. They decide to foul for the 2 instead of letting him go for the 3, which I get it. He hits both free throws, and then on the inbounds for the Pelicans, Nickeil Alexander-Walker tries to catch the ball, and it just hits off his hands and goes out of bounds. And then Eric Bledsoe fouls Damian Lillard again while he's going out for a mid-range because they were so scared of him. They were so scared he was going to hit a shot that Eric Bledsoe got his hand way too close up and fouls him. Damian Lillard goes to the free throw line, ices the game. After hitting a bunch of clutch shots down the stretch, hit a 3 that here and there as well. Zion gets a good look at the buzzer with 1.2 seconds left. Credit to Lonzo. He threw this amazing full court pass to Zion right under the basket, and he tried to lay it up and in. He was so close. It was just a little too strong. Great effort at the end there, but they just threw this game away. I thought this game was over in like the third quarter, and it just wasn't because the Pelicans don't know how to close. They show their inexperience on a lot of nights, and there are some young teams that don't. I don't want to toot the Thunder's horn, but the Thunder are tied in the NBA for the most wins coming back from 10-point plus deficits. We're tied with the Lakers. We're a young team that knows how to close games and knows how to be resilient. This Pelicans team is the exact opposite. The reason they are, I figured it out. The other day I said I didn't know why the Pelicans were so bad. I know their defense sucks and everything, but there had to be something more to it, right? They can't close. They cannot close games. And this was a great example of it. They did everything wrong here. they got gifted an opportunity because the Blazers didn't have to foul Ingram or didn't have to foul anyone. They had there was a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock when they were down by 3. All they had to do was get a stop. And then Damian Lillard goes too far. He ends up hitting, I forget who had the ball, but I think he hit Zion trying to go for a steal and fouls him, which causes the shot clock to reset back up to 14, meaning that they have to now foul. The Pelicans got gifted that. They didn't even have to take a shot attempt. They just had to hit one of 2 free throws, and Ingram misses both. Then all they had to do was get the ball inbounded, and they couldn't do that. Then all they had to do was get a stop and not foul, and they couldn't do that. They couldn't do anything in the last second. And I don't know why Lonzo Ball was out of this game for so long in the fourth quarter. He didn't come into like the 5.5 minute left in the fourth quarter after he had an incredible game. Like I said, he had 11 and 17. He shot 4 of 8, 3 of 7 from 3. He had a great game. And he just didn't come back in. I don't know what Stan Van Gundy is doing. I don't know why Eric Bledsoe is out there so much. He's just not very good at this point in his career, or at least right now on the Pelicans. Maybe in a different situation he could be better, but right now for this Pelicans team, he has not been very good. And this Pelicans team is 17 and 23 now. They're right next to the Thunder in the standings. And the Thunder have spent half the season with G Leaguers in our starting lineup. And this team has 2 All-Stars from the past 2 seasons, Zion and Ingram, a really solid center in Steven Adams, a really up-and-coming point guard in Lonzo Ball, who's going to get a bag this offseason. Lonzo Ball is going to get a bag. And a player who was on the #1 overall seed in the Eastern Conference last season, an integral part to that team, in Eric Bledsoe. And they suck. Man, they're so frustrating to watch. And I will give, it's not all just the fact that they choked. It was a lot due to Damian Lillard's heroics, just the Blazers playing well. But man, this Pelicans team cannot get it done when it matters. They just can't. And that's the exact opposite with the Trailblazers, which is why they won this game. And they almost have exact opposite records, which is really funny due to the fact that I'm talking about how clutch one side is and how unclutch the other side is. Yeah, but yeah, shout out to Lillard. He's been really, really good this season. Deserves a lot of credit. Like I said, should be an MVP candidate. The way he's put this team on his back. The Pelicans have been super disappointing, and they have to do better, or changes are going to be made. Stan Van Gundy, I have not been impressed at all by the way he's coached this team. I don't like the style they play. I feel like some of the players are limited in their roles. Lonzo Ball has been really excelling as the spot-up shooter, but I would love to see him get more chances like he did tonight to just handle the ball and do what he does best, which is playmaking. Lonzo Ball is an incredible playmaker, and he showed it tonight with 17 assists, and with that pass at the end of the game to Zion, that almost ended up winning the game for them. It was so close, and that was a full court heave with 1 second left, and he almost won the game for them with that pass if Zion had hit that shot. And he just doesn't get to play make that much. He can't be reduced to a spot-up shooter. He has to be involved more. And I love that Ingram and Zion were the focal points. There are some nights where they're not as much the focal points as I'd like them to be. I like that they were tonight. 28 points, like I said, for Zion, 30 points for Ingram. Zion also had his career high in assists tonight with 8. They both had good games. It was just at the end when it counted most that they just weren't able to get it done. And that's what ended up sinking them tonight. So Pelicans got to be better. Shout out to the Trailblazers for this big win. They continue to get wins on the season. They continue to impress. Like I said, even without Nurkic and with an unhealthy McCollum who did not play well today, I wouldn't be surprised if they make some moves at the deadline to try and bolster up this team, because I do think this team does have a lot of potential if guys can get healthy. And when you have a guy like Damian Lillard, a superstar. I don't know what the criteria is for a superstar. I'm going to call him a superstar. You have a superstar level player in Damian Lillard on the court every single night, putting up performances like this. There's no reason to not think that you can do some big things. So we'll see if he's able to sustain it. We'll see if he's able to push himself more into the MVP conversation. Obviously, he's got to be better than the current standing position that the Blazers are now. They have to improve, get up to like that 3, 2, 1 seed. I think 1 seed and 2 seed might be a little out of the question, but maybe get up to like that 3 seed, and then we'll see what happens. But for now, that's all I've got to say about this game. Let me know what you thought about the performance. I will see you guys later. Real One Say Back.